Hey folks, my name is Clark Gibson, and this is From the Green Room. Today's excerpt comes from a conversation between myself and Oliver Wood of the Wood Brothers, who will be playing at IBMA World of Bluegrass Festival here in Chattanooga on September 19th. Enjoy. Looking ahead, where do you see the Wood Brothers in the next decade?
Well, I think just kind of doing what we do. I think we're in a nice. We joke about it, and we even wrote a song about it for this new record. It's called "Slow Rise to the Middle," and we really have enjoyed that as opposed to your classic meteoric rise to the top, where you sort of peak early and then the rest is downhill. I just feel like we have this awesome pace that we're on where we're making a good living playing music. We're playing exactly the music we want to play. Nobody's telling us how to do it. We're very independent and free, and it's liberating to make art the way you want to make it. And so I think we'll just keep doing that. We have our own really wonderful studio here in Nashville that's kind of like a clubhouse and a laboratory, and we can hang out and experiment and try new things. And we've been doing it for 20 years. We're used to the cycle of making a record and then touring and, in the studio and then on tour and trying to balance that with life and living and being happy at home. And it's a groove, and we found it.
What does success mean to you now compared to when you first started? Was there a time when maybe you thought, I want that rise to the top, and kind of a point in your career that made you realize, like, no, this is way better, the slow rise to the middle?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's something we've just been gradually realizing along the way, is that wow, we have, a nice, reasonable fan base that's loyal and seems to like what we do, and we really like our fans, and we know a lot of them at this point, and we understand our audience, and they understand us, and it's just and I think what feels successful, and I, as an older, becoming an older musician and being a mentor to younger musicians who are like, how do I make it or whatever, I look back and I'm like, man, if you're doing the music you love, if you're playing it and you love it and you're putting it out into the world, you've made it. And I'm not the first guy to say that. I've heard Prince say that, or Rick Rubin, or whoever, just iconic people who we admire. They always say that. I mean, it's actually that whole. It sounds corny, but the journey part is really like, you're doing it. You made it. And I just can't imagine like arriving to some huge pinnacle and then being happy. I think always having a new thing to explore and try and experiment with and discover, that feels like success. And we're very lucky. Where not everybody, it's easier said than done, but I feel very lucky to be in that position.
You talked about touring a lot and kind of the grind of that. How do you take care of yourself mentally or physically when touring that heavily?
Well, it definitely takes practice, and even if you didn't tour, it takes discipline. But I've certainly learned that, basic things, and I'm old enough where I need to take care of myself a little extra anyway. And it's definitely, prioritizing things like sleep and eating well and exercise, and trying not to be stressed out, and staying connected with people, staying connected with family and friends. Those are all things that keep me sane and healthy and happy.
That was Oliver Wood of the Wood Brothers ahead of his performance at IBMA World of Bluegrass Festival here in Chattanooga on Friday, September 19th. My name is Clark Gibson, and thank you very much for listening.